Hey, it's Roman. In this video, I would like to share with you books to dive into history of the tech industry. Not books about the coding, not books about being an exceptional software engineer or a manager. No, I would like to share with you books about formation and development of the tech industry itself and how it became what we have today. In total, it will be 5 books that are split into 5 groups. And by the way, I will post links to every book into the description so it will be easier for you to find them. Let's go. The first book I would like to share with you is Hackers, Heroes of the Computer Revolution, written by Stephen Levy. First published in 1984, then it had second edition in 1994 called Afterwards 10 Years After. And the last edition to which I will be referring to is 25th Anniversary Edition. With every new edition, Mr. Levy added new material into the book. This book is split into 3 parts covering different time periods. The last one covers invention of first role-playing games. The second one, The Hardware Hackers, covers the history about the creation of first personal computers like Apple II. You'll be reading about story behind the Homebrew Computer Club and, for example, how Steve Wozniak assembled his first personal computer. But my favorite part is actually the first one, which is called The True Hackers. This one explores the early days of hacking at MIT and other universities. You'll be reading about who are the true hackers and about hackers' ethic. And it's not people who hack banking system to steal your money, no. What I really liked during reading the first part is the history behind the creation of the first real debugger that helped find bugs. It was called Fleet and it was created for one of the mainframes at that time that is called TX0. Another story is about the creation of the first computer game that was run on the TX0, which was called Space War. And if information from second part and the third part is easier to find in another books, for example, the information from the second part of this book will be crossing with information from the next set of the books we will be covering here. But information from the first part was very new for me, at least the most part. And it was quite entertaining to read about the foundation of the tech industry where we can work right now. Next one is not actually one book, it's a set of the 5 books. I can combine them together because they are all mostly biographies. The first 3 books are Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson, Bill Gates, a biography by Michael Beckcroft, and Just for Fun, the story of Accidental Revolutionary by Linus Torvalds and David Diamond. Probably you can guess why I mentioned these 3 books together, because each one you can connect to creation of concrete ecosystem, macOS, Windows and Linux. And it was very interesting to read about the people standing behind the creation of famous and widely used ecosystems, including the creation of the companies behind them like Apple or Microsoft. In every book you can see all different point of views on every ecosystem and the company. They all could describe the same event in history, but from the different perspectives. Overall, all 3 books combined will give you a good overview on how software evolution happened. Next book in this section is recent one and it's called Elon Musk by Walter Isaacson. This one covers recent events in the tech industry, including revolutions like Tesla X and the SpaceX companies. And the last biography I would like to share with you here is the man behind the microchip, Robert Noyce and the invention of Silicon Valley by Leslie Berlin. This one covers the history of Robert Noyce, a person behind Intel microchip and one of the co-founders of the Intel company. Without creation of the microchip, we would not have such strong boost in software development and so wide usage of the computers everywhere. And if Intel is losing the ground to ARM these days, the contribution of Intel is invaluable. The next 2 books are coming from the same author and it's Jason Schreier. And if you heard that name before, you know that I will be talking about the game industry. You might think that the game industry is not something serious, it's just silly games and it's not real business. These 2 books, Sweat, Blood and Pixels and Press Reset, will reveal to you how actually hard the game industry is. And the game industry has a significant impact on the tech industry itself. For example, game developers were the first one who started to use GPUs for something outside of rendering the game on the screen. And lots of other things are getting out from the game development into other parts of the tech industry. Tell me, my friend, what's the difference between implementation of the rendering system for a game and for the CAD system like AutoCAD to do prototyping of a factory? There are some differences, of course, but in general they both have to use GPUs to show the result. Next book will be around game industry too, and game industry knows many famous and great titles. But I think this one is exceptionally unique because it transformed into huge phenomenon. And mostly it was the first time when it happened around the game. Probably you can already hear music from this game written by Mick Gordon, and it's Doom. Yes, it's Doom game created by John Carmack and John Romero, where the first one was the brain behind the game development, the second one was the master of the level design and the art. This collaboration led to creation of series of the games Doom and creation of the company called id Software that created many popular franchises like Wolfenstein or Quake. And for example, the Quake was the first real 3D first-person shooter game. And it was quite a challenge to create something like this back in 1996. And this book will tell you a story about people that created all of this, their challenges, their success, and their breaking. For me, it's still a tech industry where some boring software development can be turned into something fun and challenging at the same time from the engineering perspective. The last book I would like to recommend here is actually a novel about tech industry. It's called The Phoenix Project, a novel about IT, DevOps and helping your business win by Jen Kim, Kevin Berg and George Spaffeld. And you might be wondering why I'm suggesting you to read a fictional story. How it's connected to real tech industry. And the reason for this because this book can show you the essence of management's problems in tech industry. I believe that anyone who have been in a management position in tech industry have faced at least one similar problem from this book. This book tells you a story about the person who have been recently promoted to a CTO position and his challenges. And doing management in high-paced industry like tech industry is very challenging. And this book can give you a different perspective on how to operate a software development. Not from pure engineering, but from a perspective of working with the people. Because even if a software is run by the computers, both software and the computers are made by the people. And you cannot look at the tech industry without looking at the people working within. And the book is actually very fun to read. This is my list of books to explore tech industry from different angles. Starting from the first developers or the first hackers as they called themselves. Then going into software revolution driven by exceptional people. Then taking a look at how industry that aims to entertain actually contributes into tech industry itself. And finally, reading a novel about pitfalls around working with the people in tech. And all of these books combined will give you a very good overview of the tech industry. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'm very curious what do you suggest to read about the tech industry. As usual, thank you for watching, I hope it was useful and now you know what to do. See you next time.